Hello, my name is Robyn Vie-Carpenter-Brisco, and I am grateful to bring you today's reading from Cut the Rope, page 140. The adjacent possible is a kind of shadow future, said Stephen Johnson, hovering on the edges of the present state of things. We tend to see shadows in a negative light. Past tense regret and future tense anxiety can cast long shadows on the present, but that is when and where God overshadows us. His grace is sufficient. His power is made perfect in weakness. And he who began a good work will carry it to completion. Remember David versus Goliath? No one saw David's potential, not even David's dad. All he saw was a shepherd. But David had a shadow future as the king of Israel. You are not the labels put on you by other people. You are not the labels put on you by other people. You are who God says you are. You may not like the situation you find yourself in. Can I remind you of something? You may be in crisis, but you are in Christ. And that makes you more than a conqueror. We live at the intersection of two theologies, two realities. God's faithfulness is pursuing us from the past, and God's sovereignty is bearing down on us from the future. Look back, and it's so far, so God. Look ahead, and the best is yet to come. What is your shadow future? Where are your adjacent possibilities? That's a question only you can answer, but you will have to cut the rope. Faith is taking the first step. God reveals the second step. Isn't that what Elijah Otis did? He had no idea his invention would turn the world upside down. All he knew was that he needed to sell safety elevators to stay in business. Imagine unborn tomorrows doesn't mean figuring out every facet of your future. It's mustering the courage to take the next step. Faith is confident in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see. Faith is spelled in many ways, but one of them is goals. You won't accomplish 100% of the goals you don't set. Before setting them, make sure they glorify God. God won't honor the goals that don't honor God. How do you know whether your goals honor God? That's not an easy question to answer, but I'd start by checking your motives. In my experience, God honoring goals are often God-size goals. You cannot accomplish them without God's help. That's how God gets the glory. He does things you can't take credit for. Thank you for joining me for today's reading.